The Golden State Warriors just did it again. They are defeating Father Time. They just played a beautiful brand of basketball for it being Game 7 against the Houston Rockets. And I know Steph Curry and Draymond Green just gave Rockets fans what should be forever PTSD, because it is just every single time they have matched up, the Warriors have came out on top. And I think this was the final breaking point for Rockets fans, because the Rockets were the 2 seed. They were young. They had so much promise, but the experienced team won today, and that's usually what happens in Game 7. Buddy Hield could not have chosen a better game to have an offensive explosion. Draymond Green was committing hard, and some may say obsessive fouls to just set the tone, and he did it from the jump, and I think that really established that the Warriors were going to win this game. They had control pretty much the whole entire time. They limited Jalen Green offensively. They limited pretty much everyone offensively for the Rockets. I mean, rarely do you see teams score under 80 points in a Game 7, but that was the case tonight, and just overall, like I said, the Warriors played a fantastic brand of basketball. And sorry, I gotta correct myself real quick. I meant to say under 90 points, not under 80 points. It is kind of funny to me, Draymond Green almost every game invents a new way to hurt somebody. I know he obviously wasn't trying to, well, maybe he was. I think most people would say that he was, but I have never seen a body move the way that he committed that one foul and slapped Fred VanVleet in the face or whatever he ended up doing. But yeah, like I said, Draymond Green really set the tone, and he set the intensity for the game from the jump. That third quarter really was special from the Warriors, because Steph Curry just took over. He was running to the rim from both sides of the court, getting layups, and that's when the Rockets just looked defeated and the fans looked deflated, because it's hard enough to stop Curry from 3, but when he takes advantage and starts driving in to get those 2s, it makes things impossible on the defense, because then he can pass out like he did a few times to Buddy Hield, and Buddy Hield just hit those daggers that pretty much ended things. And the thing that's craziest to me about this game is Steph Curry, at 36 years old, played 45 minutes and had 22, 10, and 7 with 2 steals and 2 blocks, so he was contributing the whole game. And with the way that Curry plays, I'm just more than impressed that he was able to log 45 minutes on the floor. I know it was a Game 7, but the dude is never stopped. He's always in motion. He's always running around the offense trying to create havoc and get open and just cause a disruption in the Rockets defense. And man, he was so productive tonight. He shot 8 of 16. He was 4-10 from behind the arc. He was plus 16 and plus minus. And then Buddy Hield, of course, had 33 points and was 12 of 15 from the field, 9 of 11 from behind the arc. I mean, if you're the Rockets, what are you even going to do about that? That is just a special performance. And Buddy Hield chose to do it in what very well may have been the most important game of his career so far. Also, Jimmy Butler, similar to Curry, logged 44 minutes, and that's impressive as well, because we all know he's been dealing with a lot of injuries to his hip and stuff this series. He had 20 points with 8 rebounds, 7 assists, just missed on that triple-double, and he was an efficient 7 of 13 from the field and 2 of 3 from behind the arc. Steve Kerr definitely leaned on his starters. He leaned on the guys that had experience in this game. The bench almost logged no minutes. I need to look at what the total was. Let's see. 11, 21, 31. The bench only played 33 total minutes in this game, so pretty much every starter averaged about 40, which is just crazy. But yeah, in this video, I want to break down this game, break down some of the plays from this game, and I also want to talk about and break down the upcoming series in round 2 against the Timberwolves, because man, that is going to be a dogfight for both sides. But first, before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers. We're only 500 away. Almost there. Thank you guys so much for your endless support. Alright, so starting off right here, we got Pods up top running the offense. He's got VanVleet on him. Curry starts down low, as he often does. Looney is kind of to his right, and he kind of gets in his way, sets the pick. Curry's able to get around and get the ball, and then Kuminga's kind of freed up in the paint, but still Steven Adams is there, so you can't give it to him. And Curry just gets to his spot, does a few dribble moves, and hits the 3. It's crazy what Steph Curry is able to do on a nightly basis. The Rockets tried to throw the double team. Thompson got in his way, went for the steal, but he was just able to cross right. He kind of sensed it coming and freed himself up to get this 3. Just an insane play, and I'm sure Rockets fans definitely were feeling PTSD watching this, because he absolutely torched them in the James Harden days. He also had Klay Thompson, obviously, but still, it has been a Curry show in Houston for about a decade. Now here, once again, Pod starts with the ball. He goes right. Thompson kind of has him locked up, so he dumps it off to Looney, but if you watch Curry on the other side of the court off ball, he's running around, bro. He's never still. It is crazy how much energy he spends off ball, and here, he's able to get inside and makes the reverse layup with 3 guys defending him in the paint. That was crazy. That was acrobatic. crazy touch. I think Curry probably has top 5 touch of all time. I know guys like Tony Parker are especially known for the floater game and stuff, but for as good as Curry is at his threes, he's just as good as his floater. I know everyone knows that, but really, I do think that Curry has one of the best floater games of all time in NBA history. And then here, this was a huge play in the game because the Rockets cut the lead to 3. Draymond passed it to Buddy Hield, and the defense had to close because he was hitting his threes. So then he swung it to Butler in the corner, who was ready to shoot, and he knocked down a huge momentum-changing 3. And the Warriors bench was absolutely hyped up about this, and that's just what Jimmy Butler does. He does whatever is needed to win. I know he's not necessarily like a spot-up shooter, that's not his game, but when it's a clutch moment and he has that shot in the playoffs, especially at Game 7, he's gonna make it. And then to follow that up, Draymond Green also hit a big floater to put the Warriors up by 8, closing out the third quarter, and that was one of those back-breaking moments for the Rockets defense that really took their energy out of the game. And then right here for the final play that I want to show you in this video, Steph Curry plays some iso ball, and for a guy who's playing 44 minutes, he should not have had the energy to do this. He just blew right by Smith with a crossover, and then of course Şengün's still in his way, does a little euro, gets to the rack, gets to his spot, and is able to finish for 2 to put the Warriors up by 10. That is just crazy for the amount of minutes that he played, and nobody's able to really step up and get in front of him because of how good Buddy Hield was in this game. The spacing was exquisite. Once again, kind of looking at the numbers from this game, Curry had 22, 10, and 7, Pods had 9, 3, and 2, Draymond Green had 16 points. That was one of the biggest factors in this game because normally, especially now at this point in his career, he's not known for scoring, but getting 16 in a game like this, that's huge. And he also had 6 and 5 as well with 2 blocks, so his defense showed up. Buddy Hield had 33, 3, and 3, he was ultra efficient, and then Jimmy Butler had 20, 8, and 7, and off the bench, there was only 3 points scored, and that was from Kevin Looney, who was 1 for 2 from the field. Alright, so like I said, now it's Warriors Timberwolves, and that is going to be one heck of a series. I know Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man, has made himself into a giant slayer, but the Warriors are the more experienced team coming into this round, and I think one of the biggest matchups is going to be Julius Randle versus Draymond Green, because Randle definitely showed up in round 1, and he's historically not known for playing well in the playoffs, but if he can come in and play well against the Warriors, and repeat what he did in round 1, it's going to make things really tough on the Warriors. But if Steph Curry can stay the way he is, if he can stay moving on offense, and then if Jimmy Butler can show up, hopefully he can be a little bit more rested from his injury, I do think the Warriors have a fighting chance. And if the Warriors somehow do manage to win the championship this year, I think the debate has to happen that Steph Curry is top 3, at least top 5 all time, because his resume really is getting up there. He just continues to show up and show out every single year. Here's what some of the guys had to say in their post-game interviews following this win.
It was a good one. It ended in a win the way we wanted, the way we expected it to, and a lot of guys stepped up in a big way, and we got one on the road finally.
And talk to me about how good you guys were defensively. Spectacular. Draymond Green was amazing. You were amazing, baiting guys into things, staying home, defending without fouling for the most part. What were the talks like coming into this one when it comes to shoot around? What you guys were going to do on the defensive end?
Just be more physical, put body on body, hit, get those loose balls, get those rebounds. I think we did a great job of that tonight, and that was key. And we didn't turn the ball over. Big.
That's really all I got for this video. Let me know what you thought about this game in the comments below, and if there was something I didn't talk about that I should have. But yeah, thank you all so much for your support. Please be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, I will see you all later.